Hey Arbor, I'm Kelly Smith and I'm so glad to be with you today. Thanks for sharing your space with me wherever you might be. Today I'm super excited to talk to you about something that I think is super relevant and important. I think it's something that we need to hear. It's a little bit heavy for a morning devotional, to be honest, but it's important. So I want to talk to you about the importance of being aware of the thoughts that come into your mind and the agency and power that you have over letting those thoughts take root, right? So this devotional is rooted in James 3:17, which tells us that true wisdom, right? It talks about what true wisdom is and that wisdom from above is first of all pure. And we have an entire checklist in James 3:17 to determine whether or not that our thoughts are from above. It says, the wisdom from above is first of all pure. It is also peace-loving, gentle at all times, and willing to yield to others. It's full of mercy and the fruit of good deeds. It shows no favoritism and is always sincere. So, the thoughts that come into your mind, those emotions that take over you sometimes, the ones that tell you that you're not worthy or that you're unlovable or that you don't deserve a seat at the table or that you're not cut out for this or that you're inadequate or you're helpless. Those thoughts that we all get are not from Jesus, first of all. The Bible tells us that in John 8 that the enemy is the father of lies and that there is no truth in him. And the enemy wants nothing more than to get a stronghold in your mind to derail your walk with Jesus, okay? And the way that he does that is through the power of our thoughts, right? Our inputs, right? The information that we're getting from the news, from our social media feeds, from our podcasts, from our books, those develop into thoughts and ideas and actions. And the enemy wants nothing more than to have control. There's a battle. There's a constant battle for our minds and our emotions and our will. And the enemy is subtle, right? He'll use whatever means necessary to make us vulnerable and weak and feel small. Why? Because we're receptive. We're receptive when we're weak and vulnerable and craving information and security. But there's good news, right? The good news is that Corinthians 2 Corinthians 10 tells us that we have the power, we have the divine power to demolish strongholds through the Holy Spirit. It says, the weapons we fight with are not weapons of the world. On the contrary, they have the divine power to demolish strongholds. We demolish arguments and every pretension that sets itself up against the knowledge of God. And we take captive every thought to make it obedient to Christ. Right? So we have the power and the agency and the tools necessary to take captive every thought that comes into our mind. Measure it up against our checklist that we got in James 3:17 and determine whether or not we're going to let this take root. Right? Let this narrative become part of our story or not, right? So the last one here, Philippians 4:8 says, fix your thoughts on what is true, what is honorable and right and pure and lovely and admirable. Think about things that are excellent and worthy of praise, right? And I'll tell you what, if the thought that's going through your mind right now is that you are not loved or you are unlovable or that you are not worthy or you don't deserve to be at that table or you're not welcome here, I'm going to tell you, those are not true thoughts. Those are not true thoughts and they are not from the Lord. So my assignment for you, Arbor, today is to just become aware of those thoughts that are going through your mind that are subtle and quiet but constant. And decide today that you are not going to let those take root in your mind. Get into your word and read the Bible. Ask for discernment. Ask for Jesus to come meet you where you are, and he will come to you. I hope that you find this encouraging and empowering and know that we're praying for you and you are so loved. So have a great rest of your day, and we will talk soon.